Follow the latest schedule, scores, and stats.
Welcome back, PRFF, FF, LMP Season 2.
Game.
Yo, we are back at it with the last episode, the final, not the penultimate, the ultimate episode of Season 2. This week, Sam and I have opened up so anyone can be the guest host this week. If you see this, then it's already too late and you cannot be in the podcast. But if you haven't seen it yet and it is still happening, then maybe you too can join in. So far, we already have Matt and Tanner hopping in as guest hosts.
For a little bit.
Perfect,
Matt
perfect.
and Tanner,
Thanks
thank
for
you all
joining us.
thanks for joining on absolutely no notice. So,
But enough of that. Let's talk about the real big news. The winner, the man himself, Sam the Champ. Now, Sam,
that is I. That is I. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for congratulating me.
Yes.
I've had two people congratulate me. It's been Aaron and Trevor. Nobody else has congratulated me, which is kind of sad. But
I said good win, Sam. Good win. Is that not
Yeah,
good enough
yeah, I
for
was
you?
gonna say.
I guess that's true. We'll accept that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, happy that it didn't go to the Golden Dewey or the Vampire Dewey.
Vampire.
Yeah, that would have been a little unfortunate, but
Yeah. Now how do you feel knowing that the trophy's coming home, coming back to where it started?
it feels good. I started the season off 0-2 and didn't think I had much of a chance, but much like Andrew King when he invented Party Room Film Festival, he just really hoped that he would eventually get this trophy. I mean, he really only made the festival so he could win awards, right?
That's right.
The only reason I created this fantasy league is so I could get the trophy that I paid for like 4 years ago. So it's all come back. It's all come back full circle, which is really.
Yeah, glad to hear. Glad to hear that everything's kind of worked out to your in your favor, right? The way you liked. Anything from Tanner or Matt here? Anything you guys want to add?
It would have been really wild if the Vampire had indeed made the playoffs. Because I think wouldn't the Vampire have actually beaten Sam if it had snuck in as the 8? Is that correct?
Let's check that out.
'Cause I think he said the Vampire would have beaten you just barely.
I think that may be correct. Let's see. I scored 112 points week 15. And the Vampire, let's see what he did week 15. Week 15, he scored. I'm going to have to add this up. So you guys chat amongst yourselves while I do this.
Well, I'll just say real quick before I hop off here.
Yeah.
I can't believe I even made the playoffs, to be honest. So
Yeah. What a run for Tanner.
Yeah, Tanner finished somewhere. Sorry, Tanner, I'm adding this up real quick. But Tanner finished pretty high for the record that you ended up having.
Yeah, I did. I'm happy with what happened, but it's crazy, to be honest. Yeah, I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
I also want to, this isn't it's not the official league, but I do want to point out that Tanner did actually win another league that we're in together, the Inflated League, where it's a super high scoring league. Tanner came out victorious in that league. So we've got, Trevor, Trevor mentioned before we started recording that he won a championship. Tanner also won a championship.
Wow.
So we've got 3 champions here.
3 champs.
Matt, do you have any championships that you've won? And you won an Emmy. I mean, that's pretty cool too. That's a championship.
Pretty much exactly the same thing, an award for television versus fantasy football. I mean, football's on TV, so I guess it's correlated.
Yeah. Exactly the same. Exactly the same.
That's the best connection I can make.
All right, so I have it here. So week 15, Vampire Dewey, as the lineup stands as is, week 15, Vampire Dewey had 112.72, and I had 112.36. So yeah, Vampire Dewey would have beat me
Wow.
week 1. And he made the
That's
playoffs.
crazy.
Wow. And that's not even factoring in that he would have potentially stolen someone from you.
Were we going to do that in the playoffs, or were
There
we
was
just gonna
no
let
way of
this-
knowing. We hadn't figured that far out.
Okay,
But we could have. We had the
we
ability.
could have. That would have been pretty funny,
Yo, Mitch, welcome in.
Hello.
Mr. Judy.
The next guest host. Oh,
So, Mitch, I have a question for you. Sam predicted that you would win the league at the beginning of the season. What are your thoughts on that?
I never believed I was ever going to win anything.
Hey, Mitchell joined us. How about that?
Sam, you're also joined us twice. Do you know why you're in here twice?
I don't know.
All right, fair enough. Oh, now it's just one.
I don't know what happened. It dropped for a second, but yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off, but
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on,
great
Tanner.
season.
See you, Tanner.
See you, man.
What did I miss?
don't
We were
know.
just
I asked-
talking about how you predicted Mitch to win it all.
Oh yeah, that didn't end up happening.
No,
No.
it certainly did not.
No. You got close with your pick of
I
Aaron.
did. He took third. Is that right?
You did.
He
Yeah.
would have most
They're
certainly
pretty-
been the champion if he would have just played a defense that wasn't the Indianapolis Colts.
No.
I
He went through 4 defenses last week and he
So-
picked the wrong one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, here's the thing. I think, Sam, I don't know if you remember me saying this or not, but I remember when I saw the Colts appear on his lineup, I was thinking, oh, that's a mistake. He shouldn't do that.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Because I think he had the Steelers in at first, and I was thinking, well, that's probably not a great idea because the Lions, which in hindsight, it may not have actually been that bad of an idea.
Yeah.
But then he switched it, and I think he had Baltimore in there against the Patriots, and he had Jacksonville in there against Denver. Ultimately, he went with the one defense that he really shouldn't have, and that
Yeah.
was all it took. I mean, an amazing semifinal, really. I will be honest, to me, that was kind of the de facto championship game because I really didn't expect to be able to compete with either of those teams in the final, no matter who won. So, yeah, Josiah and I were battling it out, but yeah, I didn't really think there was too much hope for either of us.
And you really did almost all you could have, Matt. I was looking at it earlier today.
I
And
could
our
have put
matchup-
Chris Godwin in,
Mhm.
and that would have helped. But like if
You
I
would've-
played him instead
yeah.
of Kyle Pitts, but that still would not. That would have actually brought me within, I think, less than a point of winning, I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any combination of players I could have played that would have led to a win.
No, yeah, but I mean that's what I was getting to. Like there wasn't really anything else you could have done other than like drop someone and add somebody else. But I don't
If
know.
I had put Bill in, because that was something I didn't really I didn't realize he was available until the game had already started. I think if I had looked at that, I might have
Bill
picked
was
him
a
up.
little
Yeah.
tough. They so he was projected to have backup duties like he had been with McNichols, I think it was.
Yeah.
Nickel, yeah.
And then it was maybe 45 minutes to an hour before the game started, and it was like a 1 o'clock Christmas Day game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's tough to like get ahead of all that, just to decide if you're going to play him or not.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think
Especially
we
if he's
both,
not even on your roster,
yeah, we
That's
both talked
true.
about that, Matt, that we both considered picking him up. And neither of us did. He ended up having a good game. So that would have been pretty poetic for me had I picked him up, or if Matt had picked him up, and that was the reason I lost, because
Yeah.
I was so high on him at the start of the year, and
Yeah.
he did absolutely nothing for a majority of the season.
It's true. It's very true. That's the Bill Krosky way.
Yeah. But looking through my team, I mean my playoff MVP is it's got to be Chase Brown. I
Gotta
mean,
be
he had
Chase
like
Brown.
5 touchdowns the last 2 weeks when I need him most. I really needed him last week against Aaron. I needed everything against Aaron last week, but Chase Brown really came on strong on the second half of the year. I think
Yeah.
week 7 on, he got double digits every week, and his strongest weeks were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But then also a very, underrated thing that happened was Patrick Mahomes getting hurt.
Yes, you got to start T-Law instead.
Because I got to start Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, and Lawrence killed it. I mean, I didn't have him in the lineup for his 40-point performance,
Yeah.
but against Denver, 31 points is big, and then the Colts was pretty solid too. I saw earlier, I think I can't remember if I posted this in the chat or not, but Trevor Lawrence is the highest scoring quarterback ever in the fantasy playoffs, apparently.
Wow.
I don't know
Pretty high.
how far back that goes, but that's what I saw. And you know that you believe everything you see on the internet, so it's got to be
Every
true.
time. That's right. Now here's a question for you, Sam. We've talked a little bit about it. At some point, I remember asking you, when do we bench Justin Jefferson? Now it looks like your answer was never. Is that correct?
That is apparently correct, yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you feel about that decision?
Well, I'm glad that it didn't matter, I mean, he's easily probably maybe the biggest bust of the season.
I think he has to be. Yeah.
I mean, especially when it comes to, receivers, definitely first rounders. I mean,
I'd say I think the big thing is just you're factoring in where he went in the draft, right?
Yeah.
Like other people had worse seasons, obviously, right? I mean, like 947 yards and 2 tuds is not a bad season.
I mean, that'd be great for like like a 8th round pick at receiver,
Yeah. That'd be a phenomenal rookie year, right? You'd be pretty happy with that if you took a flyer on like the 6th round on a wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
Like if this was Emeka Egbuka, you'd be like, wow, what a great season he had.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, and he may still hit 1,000 yards, but 1,000 yards isn't what it used to be with that extra team.
Yeah.
So the quarterback situation really funky there in Minnesota. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes in drafts next year.
It will.
It's really going to be dependent on what JJ McCarthy's going to do, if he's going to improve or not, which I feel like he could. So
I think that one's going to be a really interesting draft in the sense that I think there's going to be a wide variance league to league as to where he goes. Because I know a lot of leagues will probably go early. People expect him to rebound. And then other leagues will be like wary of him with his performance.
Yeah.
So that's one to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah. As far as me keeping him in the lineup, though, I mean, I don't want to say that I'm anything like Paul, like sticking to your guy. Because it definitely wasn't that on my end. I just left him in there because he's Justin Jefferson. You never know. Even with Max Brosmer playing quarterback, you'd think that Justin Jefferson, might be able to break one, because he is who he is. But, I mean, if I hadn't started him, then I would have put in Christian Watson in his place. But
that would have been a little better, I think.
I mean, there's no world where I'm going to bench Justin Jefferson in the championship game. I mean, that would have been imagine had he gone off and I benched him and I lost. That would have been a colossal mistake.
You'd been laying awake thinking about that for years.
Yeah. So had to stick with him. I mean, you got to go with a bona fide superstar, even if he's not playing well.
That's fair.
Pickens didn't really do anything either, which is kind of disappointing. But McBride, Chase Brown, I mean, those two guys, you crazy. McBride had a great season.
He's #1 tight end on the season, I believe.
By far.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a huge gap between he and Pitts for the #1, #2 spot. But
and you could maybe argue that if Brock Bowers plays a full season, maybe he can
Mhm.
keep up with this, but just with some injury issues and with Geno Smith being this quarterback,
Yeah,
even he couldn't
hmm
really keep up.
yeah. I think the tight end class in the NFL now, I think it's better than it has been before, especially
Yeah.
for fantasy.
Yeah.
Because you got Trey McBride, you got George Kittle, Brock Bowers, um, who else am
Kyle
I?
Don't
Pitts,
forget my boy
Yeah,
Jake Tonges.
Jake Tongs,
yeah, Jake
Jake
Tongue.
Tongs.
Um, Pitts came on strong this
Yeah.
year.
Fannin.
Travis, yeah, Harold Fannin Jr., really good looking rookie.
Yeah.
Kelsey, I thought still was pretty decent this year.
Yeah. Even
Um,
Gadsden, another rookie.
Gadden from
Yeah.
the Chargers. Ferguson had a good season.
Yeah.
I mean,
There used to really only be like maybe 3 or 4 genuine tight ends that were
yeah,
options. And now it does
Mhm.
feel like we've got a solid 8 to 10 at least.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the ceiling's about the same, but the floor's a lot higher for tight
Yes.
ends.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's good for fancy going forward with so
Now,
many decent tight ends there.
have you considered for next season switching to a tight end premium league, a TEP?
What does that mean? Where you only have tight ends?
No, you I believe it's so tight ends are PPR, whereas everyone else is a half point PPR, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
So it takes a lot of these like dudes that, they're only gonna get like 4 targets, 2 catches for 60 yards, and
Mhm.
it turns that into like a genuine stat as opposed to kind of a dud.
I don't know if that's a setting that you can do in Yahoo or not, but if it is, it's definitely worth considering.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, I know in a lot of bigger dynasty leagues they run it just because it kind of equalizes out the playing field for tight ends. Um,
Yeah,
but it also then turns, Trey McBride into a superstar, like into the Justin Jefferson, right? Where he's
yeah,
actually worthwhile of a like a really, really high round draft
yeah.
pick or whatever. Which is just
I
an
mean, I think
interesting thing.
yeah. I mean, I think I took Trey McBride in round 3. I think you could easily justify taking him round 2, but
Yeah.
um, I mean,
Yeah.
he's the only tight end that you can really justify taking that high.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at this, right? And so like his point value, instead of being 18.6, he would have been at 21,
Yeah,
So not nothing crazy, but just something to boost. And it doesn't
yeah,
affect the studs as much as it does the guys again that are getting 4 catches for 35 yards,
yeah. It helps him out a little bit.
and that feel a little bit more touchdown dependent, right?
Yeah. So here's another thing that I've been considering for next year. So we've been doing standard scoring, just
Mhm.
flat out standard scoring for the last couple seasons,
Yeah,
just because we've got some guys that don't really pay attention to fantasy football, that don't really pay attention to football anyway. So I've thought about now, maybe next year we include some bonuses,
sure. I
um,
like bonuses.
just to make the scoring a little bit more fun.
Yeah,
Um, maybe tinker with like kicking stats or
sure.
defensive stats, see what else we got in there.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, like, we've had 3 years for guys like
yeah, yeah,
Jake
yeah.
and Zach to, like, if they want to pay attention to what the scoring's like, go for it. But I think we've learned at this point that they probably don't care. So we might
Yeah,
win some extra point categories for next year just to
sure.
switch it up a little bit.
One thing that I do in another league that I actually really like is for kickers. Instead of like so with Fairborn, right?
Yeah, you get
They
you get points for the yardage. So
Yes,
like
yeah, I really
30
like
yard
that
field
one.
goal, they get 30 points.
Yeah. If you kick a 65 yarder, you get 6.5 points.
Yeah.
So you get points per yard instead of for
hmm
just kicking
Yeah,
field.
I like that idea.
Yeah. But yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff. And even just like a lot of times you'll do like, oh, if they get over 100 yards receiving, they get an extra 2 points
Mhm.
or something
Yeah.
like
Or like
that.
if they get like if one of their catches goes for like a first down, then they get like an extra point or something like that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
all sorts of different things that you could throw in there.
yeah.
I need everything I can get.
Yeah. We'll give
Yeah.
Mitch all the additional bonuses, and we'll save them. We'll take them away from the defending champ.
Yeah. Well, one thing that would help too, Mitch, is if you didn't lose to the vampire.
That would help. Yeah.
No, the vampire. The one thing that wouldn't help is if I could just get a team that wouldn't succumb to every little thing that could happen in a game.
That is true. It does help when your players don't get injured all the time.
Yeah.
I distinctly remember there was one game. I know this because we were at a Halloween party. Um, there was one distinct game where I started out and I was doing great, and I had two big scorers go down in the first quarter of their games, and
Yeah.
I was sunk at that
Yeah.
point.
Mitch, I've been meaning to ask you, we haven't talked about it in a minute. How's your Chuba Hubbard running?
Mhm.
He's getting amputated. He's not coming back ever.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
that's bold to
He
just cut off
he's
your Chuba Hubbard like that.
he's going the way of Christian McCaffrey. I will never choose him ever again.
Now, I will say, to be fair, had you drafted Christian McCaffrey this year, you might have won the
Don't
whole thing. He was
I don't care. He doesn't deserve my attention. I'm still angry about 3 years ago.
about when you
Yeah.
drafted him and he didn't play a single snap all season.
Yes.
Yeah. That's tough. There's definitely some emotional trauma wrapped up in that season for some people. Not me,
Yeah.
because I didn't draft him, but for some people there is.
I think that season I was the first or the second draft pick
Yeah.
of the whole thing, and I picked him,
Yep.
and
And he
I
was the
felt so good.
consensus 101 too.
hmm
You were not
And
alone.
and he went down, I think week 2. I think
No,
is when
he
he
didn't
went.
he didn't play a snap.
Didn't play at
Did he
all.
not?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone thought he
And
was fine, and then right before week 1 started, they said his Achilles was on fire or broken or something like that.
Yeah.
well, Chuba Hubbard is going. He's going the way of Christian McCaffrey. He's on my ban list, the do not
Okay.
draft list.
No, that's
I think
fair.
there's a lot of
What
there's a
about,
lot of people in this world that would have your Chuba Hubbard on their banned list.
What about Josh Allen? Is he on your banned list?
No, he didn't harm me.
Okay.
And
What about
the only who was it? Who that was the game against the vampire. I was at the game where I would have beaten the vampire, but then all of a sudden I got like a negative score or something, like at the very last play.
no, I don't think
Or was
that's
that a
not what
different game?
I think that was someone else, yeah.
Yeah, so Mitchell, let's talk about this. You have in your wide receiver spot, you have Mitchell and Judy. Talk about that strategy.
Whatever his first name is, the Mitchell guy. He came in way late due to people just not being able to get their crap together. So Judy was there from the beginning, and I don't know, he's another person. I've had him several seasons, and he just doesn't make me happy.
Is this a strategy that we'll see going forward, that you'll just have Mitchell and Judy on your team?
No.
Okay.
Now,
No.
would you recommend people try and find players that have their names and start those ones?
Yes.
Okay.
I really got to dig deep to find the Stice and the roster.
Yeah.
He's got to be
There's
down
got to
there
be some
somewhere.
Maddoxes in there, right?
There are some defensive Maddoxes out there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Sam Darnold right there, but
Yeah. I'll probably struggle to find a Smith.
yeah,
It's a pretty rare name.
Yeah.
I know there's Curtis Samuel, and then there's got to be a Maddox, but
Let's see what we got in the players here. Let's find it. See if we can find a Maddox.
there's definitely no TTs out there.
What about just one T?
No, if you try DD though, they might be
Okay, Maddox.
Trujillo.
He's a kicker.
But that ain't your name,
That's close enough.
Yeah.
What about Stice?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Oh, Justice Hill.
Stice Hill.
Justice. Yeah. So you could start Justice Hill. He's on IR, but still.
Just Dice Hill.
Yeah. What about Smith? We got any of those?
Smith Schuster.
Oh.
You're telling me that there's only one Smith in the entire players list?
There's no way.
That can't. I mean, what
Okay,
about
there we go.
Geno Smith? Okay, I see.
But who's the best one? Oh, I found the best one. All right,
Oh yeah,
so next season, everyone has to let me take JSN wherever I want him, just so I can get a Smith on the roster.
yeah. Nobody else can have Maddox Trujillo on their team. Mine, all mine.
And only Matt can get Justice Hill.
Who else? What about a Perkins? Is there a
I'm gonna-
Perkins out there?
Perkins?
Yeah, Bryce Perkins.
Perkins?
Oh, he's a quarterback.
Yeah, he can do the Juwan Johnson thing.
Yeah,
There you go.
Josh Johnson. Yeah.
Josh Johnson, that's the one. Yeah.
Are there any McGlones? There's no McGlones. There can't be. No.
No
That's
McGlone.
About,
Well,
What about
Jacob just
Cologne?
won't have a team.
are
Yeah.
there any Kings out there?
Certainly there's some Kings.
The Vikings.
The Vikings defense. There you go.
Hilarious.
Sam, I do have a question.
What's up?
Had things swayed just a little bit, how do you believe that Vampire Dewey would have fared in the playoffs?
Oh, he'd have won.
Well, he certainly would have beat me in week 1 had he made it in.
Okay.
We sensed that before you hopped on. So that means that I wouldn't have won. I'd have to go back and add all the point totals. He would not have beaten Aaron. Although the reseeding, I think he would have had to play Josiah. And he may have actually
Josiah probably.
He may have actually would have beaten Josiah that week.
He wouldn't have needed that many points because Josiah and I barely got over 100. It was like 105 to 102.
Yeah. Let me add that up here for
the other thing though is that you probably would have changed the lineup for the Dewey.
Yeah.
If it had gotten by you.
Especially with QJ going down.
Would the rules have stayed the same in the playoffs too? Would he have gotten players?
No. We wouldn't have done that for the playoffs. That would have been he was already getting pretty strong anyway. So that would have just been crazy. Let's see. Vampire Dewey would have had, as its lineup stands, he would have had 97.2 points.
Oh,
so that would
not have beaten Josiah. Okay, well, that would have been interesting then, because then Aaron would have ended up playing against Josiah in the final, and then Aaron would have won. So,
yeah, I don't really see anything on the Dewey team that would have justified taking someone out and putting someone else in. So the lineup probably would have stayed the same. I mean, yeah, you don't know.
Does this count as Knowles?
Yeah.
All right, we got Cody's player.
I'll take Jerry Judy again next year.
There you go. So do we have someone for everybody except for McGlone?
Does Simon count for Simonton?
It'll have to.
All right.
There you go.
Winterowski's a little tough.
What about Wine? Just Jameis Winston?
Wiener, Witkowski,
Baldwin, Chris
Jakowski.
Godwin, Marquise Goodwin.
Isn't there a Jakowski?
No. There's plenty of Aarons.
Oh, Krosky Merritt? Like Winterowski?
That'll have to work.
I mean, there's a ski in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you gotta have the ski.
I think this is it. We'll give him Jakrosky Merritt.
Yeah. Let's see, Zach Adams, he could get Devontae Adams.
Yep.
Even though it's got the S at the end, but
so far I think I'm in the best shape.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Who else? Have we gone through everybody?
Are there any Adams out there?
I looked them up.
There's Devontae Adams.
You can do Devontae Adams or Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen,
There you
Adam
go.
Troutman.
Yeah, that's the one.
Any
Adam Trautman.
Siglers?
There were no Siglers.
Is there a jiggler?
I can check.
Is there a Pigler?
There is
Wiggler?
Mr. Pigler?
in Jigba. Does that count? Probably not.
I thought you
Pigler?
were going to take him.
Yeah, I am. Some people call it Ziegler, so maybe he could go Devine
Ziggler is close.
Ozigbo.
That might be about as close as you can get. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
I'll have to.
He plays for the Lions. Who would have thought that?
I certainly didn't think that.
I never have thought that ever in my life.
I didn't know this person was a person.
He's way down on the depth chart. You got to really look hard.
What about Dewey? Is there a Dewey?
Surely we
What
got
about
a
a
do in there
vampire?
somewhere. No.
Is the vampire coming back next year?
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
There's no way of knowing, I suppose. But
Well,
he
look at that.
definitely might.
Are we going to look at my team at all, or are we just going to?
I thought we did.
can go
No,
back
we
and look at it.
never discussed it.
Oh. We talked about what could have happened to make your team win.
Oh, I guess we
Yeah,
did that. We
they
didn't really
go-
go. We didn't really do an overview like player by
Yeah,
player like we
go-
did with Sam.
go
We
ahead.
got you. Yeah, Baker had a good
So
week.
so the MVP this week for me now, Baker Mayfield may have scored the most points, but I think performance-wise, the best performance was the New England Strangler, aka Stephon Diggs.
Oh, you don't think Jake Tongues?
Yeah, that was a pretty good performance too. Ton just had, but he did most of his damage in the first half. Diggs,
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Diggs did too. My team kind of had it was very like by half for my team because Baker didn't do anything in the first half and he kind of came alive in desperation time.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
St.
with-
Brown did his
the thing
stuff,
with
I think, in the
Diggs-
first half.
The
Yeah.
thing with Diggs is the Patriots did too much too early. I mean, like
Yeah.
That was the
Diggs had
issue.
0 stats in the second half.
That was why I was like originally not going to play him, but I'm glad I did because he put up one of his best games, if not his best game of the season. And Devontae Smith did nothing.
Yeah.
I probably would have played Devontae Smith over Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
So, and then, I mean,
You made a lot of really clutch decisions with your lineup. Getting Tonjes in there, knowing that Kittle was questionable, and then the Diggs start. I mean, that's some top tier fantasy managing in the championship game.
yeah, unfortunately, this week the two tight end strat did not work out. However, it kind of did in the sense that if I was only going to play one, it would have for sure been Pitts, and obviously that would have been disadvantageous to me unless I would have put Godwin in, but that still wouldn't have mattered. I would have only gotten like 5 more points, but
Yeah. I mean, you had to ride the hot hand with Pitts because he'd been great the last couple of weeks.
No, he had been doing awesome, and they had targeted Tonjes a decent amount after last week whenever Kittle got hurt. So I was like, well, we'll see what happens. But
Trevor, pull up Tongues there.
I got you.
Because like in those weeks where Kittle missed, look at those. I mean, he's gotten really good target shares, really good production in those weeks. So
yeah.
Yep. Now here's the real question, Matt. Early in the season, you made a trade for Evan McPherson. How do we feel about that trade?
That was last year I did that. I traded with McGlone last season. I drafted him this year.
Well, how do you feel about that trade at this point in your career?
The trade from last year?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about it because I wanted to at least have one Bengals player on my team. That's why I made that trade.
Yeah, and how did he finish the season here? Doesn't look.
He had a pretty good year. I'll look overall at his kicker.
I think he was he was like kind of a mid-tier kicker just mainly because he didn't attempt a ton of field goals.
Yeah.
But whenever they did attempt a field goal, he made most of them. He didn't miss very many.
Yeah.
He was the 13th ranked kicker this season.
He did miss an extra point in the last game.
Yeah. He was he was real life. He was a great kicker. this
Yeah.
year. Fantasy wise, not so much. A lot of that had to do with the Bengals offense not being great when Joe Burrow was
Very
hurt.
inconsistent. I think the issue that hurt McPherson is that when the offense was on, they were scoring TDs and he wasn't really kicking a lot of field goals. And when the offense was off, they just weren't doing anything at all. So
Yeah.
either way, he wasn't attempting a ton of field goals.
Yeah. No, that checks out. Do we want to like turbo go through the other matchups that did happen this week?
Sure. So Aaron got third.
I took fifth. I won.
Congrats.
I beat Tanner.
How do you feel about that?
I feel good. I didn't do a whole lot, but I did win, and I started Parker Washington,
Nice play.
my king.
Yeah.
I did forget to start RJ Harvey though. That was an oopsie.
Yeah, Georgia Harvey really
managed to secure it anyway.
That's right.
Aaron,
Aaron, he was my pick,
easy
obviously. He was close.
Mhm.
He didn't.
Derrick Henry went crazy.
Yeah,
That was
it
wild.
kind of evened out Brock Purdy, right? Because Brock Purdy also went crazy.
True.
Jonathan Taylor
tough end
cooled
of the
off
year.
after the bye. Definitely cooled off after the bye. He was looking
Yeah.
so good, and then kind of middle of the pack.
Not so good, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was on track to break records and
Yes.
then just fell off the map. I mean, the whole Colts team just kind of died.
Yeah. Cody beat Jacob, so Jacob lost again. That's what he's known for.
Good for Cody, getting a win. Tough postseason for Cody, but he can at least go out on a high note.
That's right. Now Bijan did go bananas here.
Mhm.
And that's about all that happened. Bo Nix and Bijan, and then a bunch of stinkers.
Bijan, I think people are really high on what he did yesterday. A lot of people are talking that he might be the 101 next year overall.
I could see it. I could.
Yeah.
I mean, this year it was Jamar. Next year it could be Bijan.
Yeah.
Although I still think, Christian McCaffrey.
It's tough to move on from C-Mac until he shows us.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many rushing yards. I know he's almost got 1,000 receiving yards too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's got more yards.
He's over
from
1,000 rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like until he shows us that he's not a top 5 talent,